temple's close.
Nobu, come!
Where are they? No! Ah!
Bastards! Enough!
Next samurai. Arshoneg, Artsan gesh podos betsium. Sunit urquai minich! Artsan samurai. Dos gesh.
Jin, you're late.
You're impatient. Where's the monk?
The bastards beat me to him. Now they're torturing him at the temple.
Come on.
You think the monk's a hero?
We need him, Masako. Down.
We could take them.
No. Remember Sago Bridge? We strike quietly. Or they kill the monk.
I'll guard the exits. Just get that monk.
En amaran la husis manje. Nila ulos. Terlikin pitna okito. Nan tuni ukelmasuman bakolan. Tuni orokto tsushima. Aeda staff aflopan.
Please, I do not understand.
Uldathwi. Chamagotun hami. Ulsmi cheyaven sagt. Ci obelatno. Tini warrior.
He called reinforcements. We have to move.
Masako!
Stand aside, Jin. He betrayed my family.
Run! If we fight, the Mongols win.
They already won.
You were my friend.
Give me the mark.
No. You hear them coming? That's our enemy.
Samurai. You are a warrior. I can see that. You trained your whole life for this. And you have won battles that lesser men have called unwinnable, yes? But while you were sharpening your sword, do you know how I prepared for today? I learned. I know your language, your traditions, your beliefs, which villages to tame and which to burn. So I'll ask you once again, Samurai. Do you surrender?
Back, everybody. Justin and Ryan here, along with Jason Connell, art director at Sucker Punch Productions, to talk about Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Which is, holy cow, man, let me just say, this is one of the most impressive things I've seen this year at E3. Congratulations on
thank
the
you.
reception to it, on creating this incredible thing. I think today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a deep dive into the world of Ghost of Tsushima.
That's right.
So we have a few shots that we're going to queue up here, and what I'd like is for you to just kind of walk us through what we're seeing. Talk to us about some of the artistic techniques and some of the technical tricks that you're using to make this game look so incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that cool?
Yeah,
All right,
awesome.
let's queue up the first shot and let's get in there.
But you have to do it in a quick amount of time, right?
Yeah.
You have to explain your entire process.
So this is a shot in one of our bamboo forests. And what I love about this shot, aside from all the, I love lighting so much.
Oh, yeah.
But the volumetric haze and the kind of nice translucency on the leaves, all of that stuff, it makes you feel real.
Yeah.
But it's also trying to get everything in the frame to move. That's something that we're trying to do. Like, just you start making a game like this, and you look at an old Kurosawa film or something like that. They have a good documentary called Composing Movement about a still samurai with the world around him just moving. And I love this frame because it just showcases that.
That really comes through, especially in the trailer that we saw at the showcase. You can really see everything in the frame is moving. It's so just alive. Everything feels alive. It's really just an amazing job that you guys are doing.
That's the reason we opened up with that shot. You know, it's exactly what we want people to see when we first debut the game. So.
And what's amazing is this is just one small little slice of the world that you guys are building at Sucker Punch. It's unreal.
Yeah, that's
Shall we
right.
move to the next one?
Yeah, please.
Oh my God, what? Come on, man.
I kind of forgot the order, so like I'm just going to be shocked each time. Like, this is beautiful. I got a couple of things I'd love to talk about here. One of which is when we went to Japan, we went to Tsushima Island, and we saw, I personally saw some of the most beautiful sunsets and sun breaks, and just the sky was really evocative. And, and that actually is something that some of our last games had as well, if you go back and look at like Infamous. So now that this game has a dynamic time of day, that made it very challenging because you can't just paint this beautiful skybox. You have to really orchestrate some tech to make these kinds of scenes come true. And this scene does that in spades. But it also has this, something else here. There's a sense of adventure. There's these shrines and places that you're going to be able to get to and go up to on top of high mountaintops. This is a high point in the game where you'll be able to actually visit and go to. So
cool.
Yeah.
You mentioned lighting before, and it really comes through. I think in almost every one of these scenes, the light is just kind of one of the focus. Really the core pillars of what makes each shot look so beautiful. Yeah,
light. We put a lot of energy and artwork into the way that we light our games, and especially true for this one.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next shot.
Do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look
Get out of here. Just leave. Get out.
Wow.
I cannot take how beautiful this game is.
There's a lot of great things going on here. This is showcasing a variety of biomes. Obviously, this is not a bamboo forest. So there are places in the game that you get to that will be quite different than other parts of the game in terms of like the vegetation and the foliage that you'll see kind of around you. We want a lot of variation. We want people to feel like they can remember this place because it's extremely different than the other place. In this particular place, you see more of like a golden lake kind of feel. So it's another good example. Also, I'm very fond of the sky that's going on here. Another really good example, procedural sun breaks and breaks in the sky. Really feel like it's kind of foreboding, but it's also got a moment of beauty to it. So that's intentional.
And the water as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you touched on that earlier, but you have the birds coming through as well. I mean, it's just amazing.
Well, if you look really closely, you can see like insects kind of flittering above the water there and everything.
Yeah.
I thought they were birds. They're probably insects.
Maybe.
Maybe both.
Yeah, just gorgeous.
Oh, the insects. Yeah, that's our effects artist. So, yeah.
That looks incredible. Cool. Let's move on to the next shot.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, this area. Part of what we're trying to do with Ghost of Tsushima is, it's very easy when you go and create. I mean, it's a photoreal-based engine. The technology lends itself to making very photorealistic-looking scenes. But our goal here is it's very easy to just add more stuff in. Like you could have this purple, flower little grove and just add weeds and more bushes and more just trees and and like make it a little bit less manicured, and maybe it's more photoreal. But it's very easy to add more on. But actually, as artists, I think it's really hard to be very minimal. Like, and our goal with the art direction for the game and in the environments is to be minimal in that way, so that it's a little bit more lasting, and you remember it. And this is true for if you watch the demo, the Pampas Valley that you see. It's not Pampas Valley with tons of trees and weeds and lots of other things. It's a pretty large sheet of this like white color, or the end with the red leaves.
Oh,
it's very intentional to be. If you can be a little bit more minimal, people will remember it longer. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I notice. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, is it difficult for you as an artist and you as a team to sort of exercise that great restraint that you're describing, to kind of hold back when you feel like you need to do more?
Yeah, actually, it is really hard. I mean, you want you want it to be impactful, so the urgency is like to just add more. But it is quite hard. But it's a practice thing, and we're getting better at it. We've been working on it for a while, so we've been getting better at it and better at it, and we're going to keep getting better at it. And we've been working with some of our J Studio partners, and that they comment on stuff like that, and it's really helpful. So
this is unreal. I notice you're making extensive use of depth of field in these shots, and that seems like it would be a really hard thing to emulate in kind of a live environment like a video game. What's it like implementing depth of field into the game and into these shots?
Yeah, so these shots are taken in our world at real locations, and we spruce them up with our cutscene kind of editor a little bit, but like, for example, you don't want to be just running around the world with depth of field on all the time. But, it's pretty. I've done it.
Yeah.
But there are areas that you can do it, and it makes it look really amazing. Like in the duel, we know you're in this mode, and you're fighting you're in this thing where you're fighting this other person, and we can do some really subtle tricks with the camera to make the scene feel more powerful. Add a little depth of field on it. The beginning of the duel, the camera starts a little higher up, and that's not a very dramatic shot. But as the duel goes on longer and longer and longer, it's not rotating all over the place. You have full control over it. But if you just slowly pull the camera down a little bit so it's more on the plane, it's way more impactful.
It's another area where I think you probably need to practice restraint, because when I was first learning how to take photos, I do some photography stuff on the side. I was always tempted to just crank the depth of field, just destroy the background all the time. But it's a little better if you kind of like find the right balance there, right?
My team keeps me in check because I am it's the environment art lead right there. But so it's a thing. I do it all the time. So
cool. I think we have a couple more shots here. Let's move on. Here we go.
Yeah. So this, the game is about an invading army. The Mongols invaded, and so they all have places and locations in the world. And it's a little, we chose this one at night in the dynamic time of day, and put it here at night, just to showcase that throughout the world, it's not just. Our goal is to have this sharp, beautiful imagery, like this really just lush landscape of places that hopefully people will want to go see, and remember, in high contrast with areas of more death, a little bit more terror, and a little bit more, combat and things like that.
Beautiful.
Cool.
I'm like spellbound.
Yeah, I'm just looking at all these shots. I stare at this giant screen back here. It looks really good on the
Yeah, no, I keep staring over here. Thank you.
I do have, I don't want to get too far away from the world building that you guys are working on, but I'm actually personally curious if you can speak to this. If not, no problem. Creating framed, beautiful moments is so important in your game, but you also want to give the player control of the camera and be able to navigate an environment. Is there a way to kind of balance out enabling player control and kind of direction of the scene, but still preserve the artistic vision that you have?
Yeah, it's something that I think we work on a lot. I mean, if you've ever played a Sucker Punch game, they are very fluid. And that means you have to spend time on camera and controls and all that. So while we have this incredibly ambitious, artistic goal, cinematic goal, we have to make sure that it's marries very well with the gameplay, and that means you have to spend a lot of time iterating. So just for the horse ride, we put that horse ride in there for a lot of reasons in the trailer. One of which is just, I think it's just beautiful. But we want to show traversal and all that. But that one, for example, you don't just get for free. Like, it was a lot of iterations on the exact camera angle and how the camera works. I mean, if anyone's ever worked on a camera settings for a horse, it's extremely hard. Like, how much do you have it, rock and rotate? If you can do a lot, and then suddenly you get sick or something, or you can't see the horizon. You put depth of field on and motion blur, and it's great when you look at it, but if you're playing, it's like maybe you don't see in your peripheral. So it's a lot of teams, gameplay teams, and cinematography folks working together to make sure that those scenes are maximally beautiful but extremely functional.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're at a stage in video games where you kind of need to have like a director of photography working on these games as well.
Yeah, and we have like a myself works on it, but with Billy here, I think I've got a chance to talk to him yet, but he as well. Like there's a couple people here that are Nate cares a lot about camera, and especially game camera. He's really good at it. So we have quite a team that kind of hit it from a bunch of different angles.
Great.
Just
I think,
all the more reason to be excited about Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Let's move on to what I think is our final shot. Here we go. Yeah,
so this is the DOF right up front there. But this is another one that I think it showcases that this is a harsh time. It's not just a walk through the beautiful purple flower area. There's a lot of adventure, and there's a lot of just exploring this world that we're crafting. But there is a reason that you're the hero in this story, because there's been a lot of destruction, and you're trying to save the people of this land. So we wanted to show this off as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, look at everything that's happening in this shot. You've got obviously everything on fire, but you've got all these tiny particles, the little embers coming out, not to mention the incredibly blurred foreground. Everything, I mean, there's attention to detail there. Everything is still moving there. How many layers are there here? How insane is this to try and put together from an art direction standpoint?
Yeah, it's I think that some of the harder things is we don't have a very large team. We have a decent sized team, but we have 2 effects artists, and they have to split the entire world up, ranging from if you roll around on the ground, you get mud slopped up all over you, and so if you roll a bunch of times, you'll just be caked in mud, because it's really important to us in creating all these locations and these places. And from an environment and art direction and creative direction, we want you, the samurai, to feel like you're in the world. So rolling around in it, collecting on you, that's effects. Blood, if you saw the trailer, there's a lot of blood, so that's effects. Not to mention smoke and clouds and skies and things like those dragonflies and birds and fire and ember. It's a lot of work. So we work really closely with the lighting team, the effects team, on the environment team to create these kinds of scenarios.
It's incredible how much has to come together to make something like this happen.
Yeah, I think one of the hardest things is actually, I said it earlier, but I just want to recap it again because I think it's so important to the genre, but is wind. Having everything move, if it can move, make it move, is a goal for us. It's a very ambitious goal for us from the very beginning. And we're achieving it. Like you walk around the game world and you're like, oh my God, like everything in front of me is moving, and that's a goal.
Yeah. So seeing that that last shot of everything, kind of all the flames coming up and everything, it reminded me of one of the shots from the trailer, and I wanted to ask about that real quick. I don't think we have it queued up, but I just wanted to acknowledge how beautiful that I think it was the final shot of the trailer that we showed during the showcase was, where there's the duel happening, and then the flaming arrows start to come in, and everything gradually starts to light up. Where did that come from? It seems so inspired. It's so beautiful. You think that you're seeing something incredible, and then it just goes even further.
Yeah. I love the ending of that, and there's a couple of reasons why. There is Jin Sakai. We want to present him as he's a harsh samurai. He can hold his own, but he's also knows that he can't do this without help of other people. So it's a little different. He is a little bit different than the average samurai, and that's actually really important to his growth as a character, because eventually he will become the Ghost of Tsushima, and that starts with him being a little bit more compassionate in a moment where you may have normally seen somebody kill somebody. So our goal there was, how do we build the drama, not in the favor of compassion, but in the opposite direction? Fire, people right around the corner on them. And he still takes his time and isn't just here, yelling at her or anything like that. He's like, no, I need your help.
Yeah.
And that was the inspiration for that.
Yeah. So it's no secret that you did a lot of research when you were preparing for this game. Lots of travel, lots of on-location work.
Yeah.
When you were doing all this research, how faithful did you decide to be to the real-world locations that you visited versus kind of taking more artistic liberties with the worlds that you're building here?
Yeah, well, when we went to Japan, and a couple groups of us went to Japan, and we went, and J Studio kind of guided us on this awesome tour, and it was fantastic. And then we went to Tsushima, and that place is stunning, and it's beautiful in its own way. And it's like 87% like deep, thick forest. Like you can't even go through it. You can't ride a horse through it. It's really hilly, and so it makes it a little hard to make a game out of that perfect landscape. But we did take the exact map, and so some locations. There's actually the beach where the invasion actually happened. We have that marked on the map. But in truth, it's we're making an original kind of story and an original character, and so there are some areas where, for the general gaming audience, we're like, oh, we're going to create something new in this section because maybe it would be really fun to adventure to.
Yeah.
Or we could put a really interesting story there. But usually those, when they're really off or different, we work with one of our J Studio producers who now is on our team. He's been helping us a lot, just guiding us on which ones we should go towards and which ones we should move away from. So it's been great having that help.
Cool. I just want to acknowledge something that's kind of crazy. I think the last time that you and I were on a stream together was when Infamous First Light was getting ready to come out.
I remember that.
That was also a PS4 game.
Yeah.
It looked stunning, but this is on a different level. How have you guys just kind of done something so incredible on the same hardware that it feels like such a jump.
Yeah, we build on a lot of the same tech. You know? But I think one of the things that we are doing, and especially is very prevalent in this demo, is really taking the time to give you the moments that need time, right? Like, so the opening shot, we don't just jump to it. Like, hero face, let's go. Like, no, we're going to play our composer, who's a Japanese composer, Shigeru Umebayashi is our composer. We give that time up front, and that is exceptionally important to showcase the beauty of the environment. And it's amazing. Like, just giving it a little bit extra time makes people appreciate other things more. Like when you finally get to the moment where you do the EI strike and you kill the guy in one hit. If you just like rolled in there and started hitting guys, it would be cool because I think our game is fun. But it's so much more impactful if you just let everything breathe and everybody kind of sizes each other up and you just let the world sit for a second. And that type of art direction and that type of creative direction, I think, helps make the big moments quite bigger. And I think that helps
totally
people
agree.
Impression on the visuals as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this really is just one of the most stunning games I think I've seen at E3 or ever, really.
Thank you.
Kudos to you and the whole team at Sucker Punch. Ghost of Tsushima is coming to PlayStation 4. Jason, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, absolutely. Thank
Brian,
you.
thanks for helping co-host here.
My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Ghost of Tsushima. It's coming to PlayStation 4 at some point in the future. So stay tuned. PlayStation Live from E3 2018 will return. We've got a lot more coming up.
PlayStation